Blackadder is advancing perfection with every new shovel. Didn't think it was possible? Then head over to the website and check out all the shovels made specifically for metal detecting. www.blackada.com. See their amazingly affordable shovels for yourself. A family-run UK business that takes perfection to a new level. Blackadder.
Just sit a while, take a load off your feet. Think about all the good folk to me. Why not invite everyone on the street to Global Detection Adventure? Let's go Detection Adventure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've bumped into the Global Detection Adventures podcast. Unfortunately, Dave is sitting in the stadiums in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and he's watching the Green Bay Packers. As far as him coming onto the show, that's not going to be happening. And unfortunately, Mike needs to go in for surgery tomorrow. He wants me to give a big hello to every single one of you. He's just going in for routine surgery, nothing big whatsoever. He'll be back as soon as he can. But until then, you guys are stuck with little old me. I want to go ahead and take us out, and I'm going to bring in a guy named Scott Dubay. He's talking about the he wants to talk about the MAS 13.5-inch coil that's come out recently for the Garrett metal detectors, and I think you guys are going to really love what he has to say. Maybe we'll be bringing in a couple other people. We will find out. But for right now, let's listen to exactly what Scott Dubay has to say.
Hi, everyone. This is Scott Dubay from the Garrett Ace Metal Detectorist Facebook page. I've been using the Garrett Ace models for a very long time, as well as Hunter's Kimmie Dubay. And we've had the opportunity to receive a little testing coil from Rigton's. It's called the Moss coil. It's a 13-inch double D. It's very similar to the Tornado, but there's some great differences here. This coil, I've weighed them. It's 280 grams less than the Tornado. And if you all know, swinging a big double D coil all day will really give you a workout on your arm. This really makes the difference. We've done depth tests on the Garrett Ace 250 and the 400 with the stock coils on both. The stock coil on a 250, the double D coil on the 400i. We've also, we both have Hunter coils. Now Hunter coils. We've put those on the 250 and the 400 as well. We've done depth tests with that. And then we put this Moss 13-inch double D on there. And I tell you what, it's mind-boggling. It blows it all away. It really does. It's a fantastic coil. I wouldn't put my name behind anything unless I've tested it and I've seen it with my own eyes. And I do thoroughly endorse this coil. But right now it's at Rigton's. Rigton, it's not on their website right now, I don't think, and it's definitely not in their catalog yet, but you can definitely order it right now if you give them a call. It's at an introductory price. It's brand new on the market. It's fresh from the factory. That's how new it is. You get a hold of them, give them a call, and you can place your order for them. I think they're in stock now, but the price goes up from $99.95 to, I think it's another 25-30 pounds at the end of December. So now's the time to definitely get this coil. It's fantastic. I was testing out a nice silver half crown. That was my testing item, and it was definitely banging this coin at about 16 to 18 inches without a problem. The 250, it was given a single ding on one side of the swing, but not on the back. But the 400i was nailing it without a problem. So there you go. That is my decision on this coil. I'm going to give it the thumbs up, and yeah, I hope you guys check it out, and definitely give Rigton a call. You can either mention the UK Dirt Fishing page or the Garrett Ace Metal Detecting page, just as a reference. Just tell them where you heard about it, or from this podcast, of course, or RC Tech Magazine, of course. And thank you guys very much for having me today, and take care. Happy hunting, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody that heads over to the Regton website, make sure that you mention that GDA sent you to them. And if you subscribe to us on iTunes, make sure you please, we can't say this enough, leave us a rating and a review on there. It only takes a couple minutes. Just say, great show, love it, whatever. Give us 5 stars, 4 stars. Heck, give us 1 star. And, curse us out. Whatever it takes. The more votes we get, the more people leaving messages and leaving reviews on there, the higher we start ranking in the iTunes settings. And that's what we want to do. We just want to get more people to actually come and listen to us, and we can't do that unless we have your help. And so we greatly appreciate anybody that's come in and does that. And anybody who leaves a comment or a review on iTunes, we will mention you directly on one of the podcasts. Helping hundreds of people annoy their families while driving in a car. This is the GDA Radio Podcast.
Dave D here from the Global Detection Adventure Podcast. I don't know about you, but I've always been looking for the next innovation that can assist me in the field while digging. So when I was asked to try Stephen Padley's Draper shovel hook, well, I just had to give it a go. I've been detecting 3 years now, and I've always carried my shovel in my non-detecting hand. Well, those days are over. I'm going to give the Stephen Padley Draper shovel hook 5 out of 5 Global Detection Adventure stars. So, where are you going to find this Draper shovel hook? Well, that's the easy part. All you got to do is go to eBay, you type in Draper shovel hook, and bam, you're in. I'm going to tell you, you're going to be glad you did. It's a total thumbs up from me.
You hearing me, Wayne? How's everything going with you?
Everything in Colorado is just going awesome at this time. And Watts has teamed up with the Pomerankies. If you don't know who the Pomerankies are, they're the ones who have the Bering Sea Gold Show up in Nome, Alaska. They're running the big dredges and big TV hit show. Every week it comes on. And Pomerankies has teamed up with Watts, and we have a special offer. If you sign up today, you can get our special offer at $85. It gives you a Pomeranky gold-plated coin from their actual mine up in Nome, Alaska.
Wow.
For $85, and it includes a 3-year membership for Watts.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
And we're extending the offer for today. Today's the 3rd of the month. And we're extending the offer if you want to get that. Otherwise, the coin's going to cost you $99 for just the coin, plus shipping and handling and all that. And the coin regularly sells for $136.
Oh, wow. So that's a heck of a deal, plus a 3-year membership to Watts and everything.
Right. And we have a lot of things coming up. We're going to have a big treasure show in Durango, Colorado in April. And looks like the Pomerankies will be showing up for that. And we're working on a $25,000 metal detecting hunt here in the United States. Somebody could win up to $25,000 worth of gold nuggets.
$25,000 worth of gold nuggets?
Yes, we're working on it. We're going to have a couple days of seminars. We're going to have a big metal detecting contest. Also in April, when we have our show, Robert McDonald has been on your show. He was on, about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, going on about a month.
Right. He's coming to the United States. He will be attending our show here in April, and we are going to set 2 to 3 world records in one day.
Oh, wow.
With Robert's assistance. He's got over 50 world records. We want to give him another one.
Yeah, and if you're going to be trying to set 3 world records in one day, I wonder if that itself is a world record, especially if you can get one person to do 3 world records in a day. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's one of those.
We're working with Guinness Book of World Records and Ripley's Believe It or Not. The paperwork has been submitted, and we're just waiting for confirmations on and all the guidelines that they're going to have to do it. So And then we have our big metal detecting hunt in Mancos, Colorado. It'll be the weekend before July 4th. And we're going to have treasure chests. We don't know exactly what hunts we're going to do. We have over 50 hunts in our catalog. And every year we try to pick a different hunt. A couple years ago, 2 years ago, we did a treasure chest hunt. We had 3 huge treasure chests full of all kinds of goodies. We had 3 locks. Each one had its own lock, and 2 keys buried out in the field, along with hundreds of other keys of similar size and shape.
Oh, wow.
And we buried the keys out in the field, and the first one to bring the key in that opened one of the 3 boxes, the key stayed in there. We put a tag on the top of the box saying who found it, and they went out and tried to find another key. And that took about an hour and a half before the first key came in.
Yeah.
That found the box. And people were coming in with a key, but the key already fit a lock, so they couldn't get that box. So they had to go out and find another key. And once all 3 keys were found, the game was quit. We quit the game, and then we revealed what was inside the treasure boxes.
Really? And
that's one hunt. We have flag hunts where we plant flags in the field, and there's 2 flags that have the same number, 1 through 50 or 1 through 100, matters how many people are in the field.
Uh-huh.
And we plant coins. We plant 2 coins. So you have to find both coins that correspond to the number of the flag, and then you got to find the flag and bring the 2 coins in and the 2 flags, and then you win a prize immediately. We hand you your prize, and you go back out and do it again.
That's pretty cool.
And it's a fast-moving game.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it.
We also do what we call a speedo hunt. And you could win one of 2 gold nuggets. We plant 2 gold nuggets, and we have coins out there, pennies. When I say go, you go out and you find a penny, you come back, it's got to sit on the table, and you've got to be sitting on the seat, and then I call game. The first one comes in, stays. The next person comes up and runs out, and we do the same thing. We just keep going 2 at a time.
Huh.
And we call it a speedo hunt. And it's a fast-acting game.
That's actually really fun.
In 2008, my son was in the contest. I was in it. I ended up bailing. I just couldn't run anymore. I was wore out. My son ended up winning over $36 in quarters.
Oh, wow.
And then this last year we had the contest, and my son split it with another guy, and he got about the same amount of money.
Oh, $36 in quarters. That's a couple hours in the video arcade, if there was still one around.
Yeah. Yep. We don't have any of those here, but
nope.
Yeah, we have all kinds of games we play. In our field in Mancos over here, we have 36 acres of property. On that 36 acres, anybody could go out at any time while we're there.
Yeah.
Except for our designated hunt fields. And we have planted 3 coffee cans of relics. Everything from coins to keys, keychains, watches, watch fobs. You name it, we buried it out in that area.
Yeah.
And while we don't have a hunt going on, anybody's allowed to go out and find that stuff and keep whatever they find.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really nice.
We already have another coffee can filled right now for next year. And we usually go out a month or 2 months before the hunt, and we start planting the outer areas and then the inner field. We've planted over 5,000 wheat cent pennies out in our 2.5 acre field already.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Over the last 4 years.
So you always got something that you could always go out and metal detect out on that field.
Right.
And Patrick,
if anybody
I know
wants
you're
to
listening.
Go out there and they're a Watts member, they can contact the camp, and then the camp will give them permission to go out there and metal detect anytime they want. You got nothing to do, run out there and metal detect for a couple hours.
Exactly. And it's Colorado. It doesn't get much more beautiful than, like I say, than Colorado. Plus, that's where the real cowboys come from. All you guys from Texas. Shut it.
We have a lot of Texas people, Oklahoma, Wyoming, Nevada, California come out for our hunts, Arizona.
Yeah,
a lot of people come out for our hunts. So.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, it sounds like something that I know Patrick would definitely do. That, yeah, he would definitely go up there and start burying stuff for you. He's the founder of the Vulcan Treasure Society, and he plants finds for people to find around the world. I've done some here. I think he's got some in Australia, in the United States, and anybody who finds it just gets in contact with him and lets him know. And I think that would be something he'd really love to do.
Well, last year, I've done this now. I've been doing these since about 2005, these type of hunts and seminars and everything else. I used to run a week-long seminar with metal detecting hunts and treasure hunts and gold prospecting hunts and all that. But I've always taken 2 secrets cans, and I put treasures inside the secrets can. It could be a silver dollar, it could be a gold nugget, it could be rings, it could be all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of stuff he does. Yeah.
And in the secrets cans, I seal them with black tape. I have a special black tape that I use, and I seal them and I initial it to say it's my seal on there. And then I plant these out on the property, and I tell people, go out and find these secrets cans. Do not open them. If you open them, it's void, and you could bring it in. So then I'll have 3 big boxes on the table. If somebody brings one in, you got choice of number 1, number 2, or number 3. Do you want to keep the secrets can, or do you want to trade it in for one of these boxes?
Metal detecting, let's make a deal.
And they, sometimes they'll pick a box, sometimes they'll keep the secrets can. Well, if they keep the secrets can, we take the box and we auction it off to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
And then the highest bidder could open up that box, but they can't show anybody or tell anybody what's in there.
Ooh.
And then we say to them, okay, if you want to see what this person's got in this box, it costs you $1. It's $1 to look. So people will line up and they'll hand the lady at the camp $1 and they'll look and they'll go, ooh, oh, wow. And then they'll go sit down. Some people come up and give a $5 look. So they get a little bit longer. We give them maybe 2 minutes to look at it. Then we take that, and then the person that, if they keep that secrets can, then we open it up.
Yeah.
Same thing. They can't show what's inside there or tell anybody what's inside there, but it costs you $1 to look. And we've raised anywhere from $50 to $75 just on looks.
Oh boy.
Right?
Yeah.
And then if they want the box and they don't want the secrets can, we auction that off and we raise money. So what we do is we take this money, we'll get anywhere from $200 to $500 by the time all the oohs and ahs and the looks and everything else goes on. And then auctioning off that particular box, we turn around and we hand that camp the money.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And we say, here, there's $500. These are in the auction and the oohs and ahs. And this goes to the camp. It's a Christian camp.
Yeah.
They cook for us. They have facilities for us to stay in, buildings to, stay in while we're there. Full accommodation, showers, toilets, everything. So we give that back as a donation to the church camp. And, it helps them out throughout the year. Because, camps don't make very much money, especially when they have 500 kids there. A lot of these kids can't afford to go to summer camp, to a Christian summer camp.
Yeah, definitely.
So a lot of them get scholarships. So we try to help out the camp is our whole thing we've done.
Absolutely. Patrick was just noticing that you have birds as well.
What's that?
You have birds in your home?
Yeah, I have two birds in I got two parakeets.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because Patrick, who is from the Vulcan Treasure Society, he's the one that does the seeding metal detecting, kind of like what you were saying. He also has birds as well, so he noticed that in your audio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love birds. I had a huge cockatoo and it passed away. A cat killed it.
Oh,
got into my house and killed it. And, $2,000 bird, 26 years old, is gone.
Yeah, that's too bad.
So I got two parakeets. They're safe. They're in their cage. And, yeah, I love birds.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's. I thought my wife really wants to get a bird as well, and we have 3 cats, and I'm just kind of worried about that. Maybe after the cats.
Well, my cockatoo, I would let him out all the time. He'd fly up on your shoulder. If he didn't want to sit there, he'd go sit somewhere else. If he needed to use the bathroom, he knew where the cage was. So never had any problems with him. He was a good talker and a good actor. And I mean, he was just an awesome bird. And my ex-wife's cat got in the house one day and jumped up and grabbed it and broke its neck. So.
Oh, jeez.
And I witnessed it all, and I was heartbroken, and I still am. So,
yeah, I bet.
And that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, I bet. Well, that's too bad.
Does anybody have any questions in the chat room about Watts or what we have coming up? I mean, we have such an agenda coming up.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a new thing coming out. We will have a newsletter. We're working on it now. It'll be the first newsletter that Watts has ever had since 2003. All our members will get an email newsletter to them every month with updates and stories and things that are going on. See, Watts doesn't do only metal detecting. We do treasure hunting. We do geocaching. We do gold prospecting. We do arrowhead collecting, bottle collecting. And, anything to do with a treasure, if it's a swap meet treasure or going out and finding a $10 million treasure, that's what we specialize in. We have people in our board and in our organization that work with other people. If you have any questions, let's say on geocaching, we have a person that could explain to you how to do the geocaching, how to set geocaches out there, how to find them, what to look for, and everything else.
Oh, wow. That's great. Yeah, if anybody...
9 gold claims here in Colorado this last year. We've got a couple more coming online pretty soon, so our members will be allowed to use those gold claims. Our paid members will have 3 gold claims up by Silverton, Colorado to use. And you could treasure hunt there, you could metal detect, you could gold prospect with dredges and high bankers, anything you want. Plus, all our properties that we have camping available right on them.
Yeah.
You could camp right there. You don't have to drive 30 miles or 100 miles away to find a hotel or anything else. You got a camper or a tent, pitch it right on the claim. That's one thing that we're trying to work out, where we have all camping on our site, so you don't have to be worried about moving your equipment every day when you get done or anything else. You could just camp right there.
Yeah, definitely. Now, anybody who wants to know more, they can go to www.ats.org. That stands for the Worldwide Association of Treasure Seekers. So www.ats.org, and you can find out a lot more information there. That sounds like a great deal. It sounds like a great bit of fun to actually get out there and go gold prospecting, be able to go metal detecting. We are talking about the Colorado area, so this was the crossroads of America in the 1800s. A lot of wagon trains were coming through this area. Not far from where I used to live up in the Loveland and Fort Collins area. We got the mountains there, and there were a lot of families lost in that area trying to cross over to the west. So there's a lot of stuff to be found in that area.
There's a lot of treasures that people don't know about in Colorado. If you look up treasures of Colorado on the internet, almost every area of Colorado, Utah, and just unbelievable the amount of treasures that are out there. hidden treasures, lost treasures, found treasures, everything.
Yeah, because think about
it's just
this.
a vast thing out on the internet right now with all the treasures in that.
Because, I mean, you got...
The Fen treasure, you heard about the Fen treasure over in Germany. Man hid $2 million worth of... There's 2 1-pound gold nuggets in this box. Gems, minerals, coins, gold coins, silver coins. I mean, it's just unbelievable what the man put in this box. Buried north of Santa Fe, New Mexico, United States.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's, yeah, that's right. That's the
Fen treasure.
Yeah, in New Mexico. Yeah, Patrick
I've been out
definitely
6
knows
times
about
looking
it.
for it, and Forrest Fenn has acknowledged that my partner and I and my 2 kids have been the closest to it.
Really?
Yeah. So
you're going
right
back.
Right now the weather is not conducive for us to get there where we're looking.
Mm-hmm.
But come early spring, as soon as all this breaks, we're back on it.
Yeah, I would be too, especially if Fenn actually said, you're the closest, that's a lot of money just to be sitting out there. And if, it's one of those things, everyone says that he's just making this up, but he is adamant about this being out there.
Right. And it's a $2 million treasure. They expect it to be worth about $2.5 million by the time somebody finds it, and that's within the next year. And the price will go up every year, of course.
Yeah, based on gold
but
price. Yeah.
If I were to take and find it and run it through Sotheby's auction, it would probably go for about $5-6 million.
Yeah, it's basically, because you have Finn's seal on there, and that shows that it was his, and people want a piece of that.
Right. So what my partner and my plans are, and my kids, we've already discussed it. There's 2 1-pound nuggets. He's going to take one, and I'm going to take the other one. Those are ours.
There you go.
The rest of it's going to go into a museum somewhere on loan for 6 months to a year. And let's say we find it in Durango, Colorado. It's not in Durango, folks, so don't look in Durango. We already know that. It doesn't fit the critique for the treasure itself, but let's say I find it in Durango, Colorado. I will go to the Historical Society or to the City Council and say, here's the Fen treasure. I'm going to give it to you to put on public display for 6 months to a year. What is that going to do for the city of Durango? That is going to bring in more and more tourists to see this treasure that has been found in that area.
Mm.
So I'm going to boost up all the revenue for the local town that I find it near.
Yeah, definitely.
That's number 1. And then number 2, it will not go to the Smithsonian. It might go to the New Mexico Museum, one of the New Mexico ones, one of the Colorado ones, whatever state we find it in. It might go to that museum for a few months to build up their revenue dollars. And then that'll give me time to figure out how I'm going to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to keep things that are priceless. So you might as well put them on public display. And then nice thing about it is if you put it in a museum, they end up insuring it for you. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, true.
And 9 times out of 10, a museum will pay you to put this on expedition.
That's a good point.
For treasure seekers out there to think about. You could take it home and hide it and not let anybody know you found it, which a lot of treasure hunters do. But to take it and put it out there in the public is probably one of the best things.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's one of my things. I always want to get stuff that I found back into the eyes of the public. I'm American in Germany, but I think it's important to bring the German history back to the Germans, and that's what my main goal is. We're going to go ahead and take a small break for a commercial, let you guys know exactly what's going on with Blackadder, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
I am a tool. I am a voice generated from a computer that will break soon. Blackadder shovels are not tools. They are weapons. And the ground is scared of them. Unlike me, they will be around for a long time to come. They are perfectly built. Really unlike me. Perfection. On a new level. www.black88.com.
Well, thank you so much, Wayne, for calling in. I'm glad we finally got to talk with you over WWATS, the Worldwide Association of Treasure Seekers. That's a fantastic organization. Anybody that's up in the Colorado area, make sure you check them out at wwats.org. And for the meantime, we're going to go ahead and take a call from Patrick White. I know he is just itching to talk about the Finn treasure. Okay, rule number 1, there's no alien talks today.
All right.
We were just talking about the Finn treasure, and you obviously know a lot about it. So exactly what do you know about the Finn treasure?
Well, I mean, Wayne laid it out pretty nice as to where it is and what's in the box and everything. And I guess I was unaware that it's been acknowledged that he's been the closest people to the treasure box. I have heard him say that maybe somebody was within 500 feet of it or something like that. But I just wanted to discuss real quick just a kind of a strange connection that I have with Forrest Fenn that I was unaware of. You know, I was going to make a video about it, you know, with pictures and things, but my recording equipment is just kind of on the blink. It's on and off. I can't trust it. And it's just very frustrating.
No, that's too bad.
So, but anyhow, I had heard about him burying that treasure several years ago, and I really didn't think anything much of it other than that it was just pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, and then, so then I get this sudden urge out of the blue to start gold prospecting and then it didn't really work out, as you can see in my video. And then it kind of just led to me being a metal detector guy. And then so I'm out in the park and I'm detecting, and I figured that I'm going to, find some stuff. And then there's all these holes, divot holes everywhere. And I figured it's just not worth it. I just might as well go home. And then I just get this sudden urge out of the blue in the park to start burying things.
Yeah.
And, but little did I know that the park that I was in, or that the town that I live in is Temple, Texas. And that's actually where Forrest Fenn grew up.
Huh.
And that the park that I planted my first box, was actually within a stone's throw. I mean, literally you could hit if there was a golf flag on his father's grave, Marvin, you could hit it from where I planted my first box.
Oh, wow.
And so, I was at a Rotary meeting, or actually it was a Lions Club meeting, and I was, giving a presentation there. And then this old veteran comes up to me and he says, he shows me this picture on his phone, of this old basketball team, all black and white and everything. And there's this guy, all dressed in black, the old guy, in the back wearing black, it's like a suit, almost looked like a German military suit.
Yeah.
And he says, you know who that is? And I says, no. And he goes, that's Forrest Fenn's daddy. And that's me, number 12 right there. And I'm just looking at this young kid, and I'm just like, wow, this is just amazing, and so things just started to come together, as far as, it just made me wonder if like Marvin, had some kind of an angel, that was prodding me to bury the treasure at that point. And so I go and I find his tombstone and stuff. And then there's actually there was a red cardinal when I pulled up, actually sitting right on the tombstone. And it said that the cardinal is, when there's a cardinal present, there's an angel present. And so I just thought that was pretty coincidental as far as all those things go.
Yeah.
And as I was leaving the park that day, I saw there's the cemetery right there. the number one, they have like a flagstone tombstone there at the entrance, and it had the name Coley on it. And that was kind of weird because it's not a very usual, common name, but it just happens to be my brother's name. And so just all these little coincidences and synchronicities that were adding up that it just makes me just wonder, And I wonder, I can't help also wonder that if Forrest, I don't think that he just woke up at 80 years old and decided to start burying treasure. I think that it might have been something that it was congenital. He might have just been a born digger and barrier and searcher, and he might have started burying bones for his dog, when he was a little kid, and it might have expanded from there. So I really wouldn't be all that surprised if there are smaller treasures buried somewhere here in Bell County. Unfortunately, the house that he grew up in has burned down, I think, back in the 80s, and all that's left is just the lot with some grass and a garage and a boat in the driveway. And I talked to a neighbor there who was sitting on the porch and asked her, if anybody has ever metal detected there, and she says no, they don't allow metal detecting on that particular property.
Oh, that's too bad.
But just on the other note, I wanted to just give a big thanks to Wayne because he's very inspiring. I've been kind of frustrated lately, and because I don't think that there's enough people out there that are seeding. But after hearing what he said, it's just really a great thing. I think that he's doing, and has given me maybe some new angles because I'm always looking for new angles. I've got some new he talked about the secrets tins. I got the little round ones. I ordered about 24 of them, and they got the screw caps on them and everything with a nice little seal on the inside so that the moisture doesn't get in there. And not only that, but I can take the little metal stamps that I have and I can stamp, the Vulcan Treasure Society into the top of the can, so that I don't might even not even need to put a card in there, because I could even stamp a phone number on there if I wanted.
No, that's true. But I think it would be better putting it in because, even if it's tin, we've seen, any of us that have been out metal detecting, tin does have a tendency to degrade. It takes a little bit longer than other metals, but it will still degrade.
Sure, yeah, roger that. And then, but they have a yearly hunt here in Temple. I think it's called the Texas Metal Detector Association or something like that. And last year in April, they had a hunt. You had to pay like $160, I think, to go on this seated hunt. And they gave away, many thousands of dollars of metal detectors. And they have the little tokens that you find, with the number on it. Whatever number that you get, that's the item that you get. And then they also had many silver dimes and maybe quarters and nickels and things like that were in the field. So I went back after the hunt, and even a few days later, and found a couple of silver dimes that were still left over that weren't found. And so I'm thinking that this year, before the hunt, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to seed the field with a few of my things. And won't they be surprised?
Luke he mentioned that you made a good point about Forrest Finn a little bit ago. But yeah, he said he saw the stamps and they're a great idea. In fact, Luke is thinking about moving his 4 burials to make them a little bit more findable for people so that hopefully you'll get some finds out of the UK for you.
Yeah, Luke has done a great thing. I've seen his burials have been very, very nice. He's got the silver goblets. His buddy buried some looked like 50 caliber bullet casings, and then there were some other little small gold things that I'm not sure what they were. They looked like some kind of clips or something. But those will all make very, very nice finds. and you can just never tell who's going to find something. One of the last things that somebody found of mine, it was just it's in a very obscure park. I put it in the wood chips, and then the guy found it. I was just he contacted me, and I actually got really paranoid because the picture that he took, it was real dark and everything looked really rough, because the box had rotted, and it just looked like a crime scene photo. Is what it looked like to me, and so I was thinking, man, maybe the police found my burial, and but I don't know but he did contact me and say that he was happy to find it. And we were supposed to go out for lunch, but I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah, and he's letting you know that I guess it's the 50 cal bullets or the shell casings that you saw were from His Majesty's ship, the Invincible. I'm guessing World War II would have been that time frame.
Yeah, they were really awesome. And then he had also taken a picture of looked like a bottle. I think maybe that he was going to put something in, maybe throw it in the ocean. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting things mixed up. Maybe that was me.
Yeah, but with 4 burials, there's definitely a lot of stuff. So Graham Stokes was the one that actually fired them. He was in the Navy at the time, so he fired them from the ship.
All right, well then, Lance, I'll step aside and let the next guest come on. I appreciate you letting me be here. Love GDA.
Thank you, and we love you.
In a couple of weeks, we'll be able to talk to Dave, too.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have the whole team back in, so we'll definitely be able to talk.
All right, take care, brother.
Yeah, you too. I'm going to go ahead and call up our next guest, Scott Dubay, and his wife, Kimmie. They were out metal detecting, and...
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, finally. Sorry, I'm having an issue with Facebook and trying to get this microphone to work on Facebook. It's not your problem. It was mine.
Well, the technology today.
Yeah. We get higher and higher technology, but everything gets worse and worse until finally the robots take over the planet and we all die a horrible death.
That's it.
Hello.
Well, hello.
The UK.
Yeah, hello, Kimmie. I'm glad to finally get you guys both on the show. Saw you guys out running around, so I need to find out exactly who won today.
Me, of course.
This is husband and wife metal detecting team. This is Scott and Kimmie Dubay. I believe that's how it's pronounced, Dubay?
That's correct.
Okay, out of Wales. In fact, they were out, looked like it was above a river somewhere near the ocean, metal detecting today as well.
Yeah, we were on the coast in South Wales in Cardigan Bay.
Yeah.
Just hopping around some fields in this little town between a couple Norman castles.
Oh, jeez.
Which was absolutely fantastic,
That sounds beautiful.
Can't beat it.
The photographs were absolutely breathtaking. All it was is just rolling green with the water and just beautiful, clear sky today.
Yeah, man, just fresh, salty air. Yeah. There's a lot of history going on in the area, and we're just trying to find out what's in the ground.
Yeah. Now, the fields that you started off on today is one of the fields that you actually love. You found hammered coins dating all the way back to the 1300s coming off of that field.
Yeah, I actually found my first whole hammer coin. It came out in great condition. I'm absolutely amazed. I went around the whole field. It took me like 40 minutes, not a single signal. And I hit this little plateau. And all of a sudden I got a banger. And there she was. She popped out. I was just totally blown away. Absolutely astonished.
Absolutely fantastic. That's got to be something. I mean, I just don't get stuff like that over here. The earliest I've got is a 1500 now, and but being able to find hammered coins that can date back so far, I mean, even to the Roman periods, I just can't even imagine.
It is amazing. I'm blown away. I'm from the States, but I never detected in the States. I started detecting when I came over here.
Yeah.
And I guess, looking at it now in the bigger perspective of everybody detecting, if I was in America and you guys want to come over here to see it, I guess I'm living the dream, so to speak, and I didn't even know it. I just took it as I'm just going out metal detecting, and there's so much history. It goes back thousands of years, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I love about Germany as well. I mean, I haven't been able to break too far back living over here in Germany. But, just the fact that I find all these relics that are coming out of the ground. But to be able to find that one coin that's, for me, 1535 or for you, 1300, it just really puts everything into perspective of the dates and the times that you're looking at. And for me, it's the fact that I'm holding something in my hand that the very last person who held it in such high esteem that this coin might have provided food and sustenance for them for months or even a year. And then I found it in the ground.
I'm sorry, it could have been like a monthly salary for somebody, working in a factory.
Exactly. A friend of mine, about 2 months ago, he found a 10 Kreutzer coin. And so we were trying to figure out exactly what a 10 Kreutzer would have been in the 1760s from when the time was that this one was made. And a 10 Kreutzer would have paid rent on a house for an entire year, or it would have been 1/6 of the cost of a horse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually found a Kreutzer here. I think it's silver. Now you're saying it's 10. Maybe it's 10. Maybe it's not silver. But I did find a Kreutzer here in Wales, believe it or not.
Really? Usually the Kreutzer ended around 1808, 1809. And usually the 3, 5, and 10 Kreutzer were all silver.
Ja, Deutschland ist sehr gut.
I love it over here.
So we find quite a lot of different silvers. American dime.
Yeah.
We found.
We found an American seeded Liberty dime over here.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere, absolutely nowhere. In the middle, in the middle of a field, in the middle of nowhere.
And we thought it was quite bizarre because Scott being American, and actually find American dime here.
Yeah.
Henry VIII hammered coin.
Oh, jeez.
So there's not as much in Wales. There's not as much that there is in London.
No.
London's got that rich. Do you know what I mean? Wherever you go, it's a Saxon coin or
Roman,
it's a hammer. Do you know what I mean? Here in Wales, we have to work for it, proper work for it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like a whole day digging before you find anything, and then all of a sudden, bang! There you have that silver, you have that hammy, or do you know what I mean? But it's fantastic. We absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
We do this little town. It's actually got a Norman castle right in the middle of the town, and it's way out. There's just castles are just like spotted here and there and there. But we actually got all these fields and all these farmers. We got their permission to go all the way around the castle. So we're hitting all these fields around the castle. And there's a road that goes from one castle to the other castle. And it's where all the chapels were. So what we're doing is we're going from field to field to field to field. We're just trying to find that one field that's a hot spot. And we think we found a market field is what we're hitting now. And it's only taken us, 3/4 of a year to find a field like this. So we're just going to start hammering it.
Well, yesterday I found 4 teardrop bag seeds with the crown on it, with numbers on it. It's absolutely the condition they're coming out in is fantastic.
Yeah, it's coming from all eras, the Tudor, the Georgian, the Victorian. It's all, you know what I mean? Like you said, the history just goes back and back, and we're finding it.
And you're really in Wales. I mean, really in Wales. I mean, people, just like now, you just said that you were metal detecting between 2 Norman castles, and you're in a very highly disputed area because you had the Romans that were coming through there, you had the Normans that were in there, you had the Picts that were fighting for the area. You guys were quite literally on the borders of most of the battles that were going on in the United Kingdom at that time. In fact, it was even the English versus the Welsh for quite a while as well. And that's exactly why the Welsh still remain autonomous to this day.
That's right.
Yeah, that's very true. We I'm just saying about the castle again. We actually have exclusive permission on a battlefield where the Welsh fought the Normans. The Normans actually came out of the castle to meet the Welsh people. And there's this famous little battlefield going on, and it's one of his 12 fields, and we're trying to find that one field where the actual battle took place, but it's definitely on his farm, so we're looking forward to that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. I'm going to be flying over to the UK to meet up with Scott and Kimmie now, so we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Come on over, man.
Come on over. You're more than welcome. Do you want me to have a place to stay? Do you want me to white dig in?
We tell everybody, come on over. Spare room upstairs,
Me and the wife, one of these days, me and the wife are coming over to the UK. We're both going to bring our detectors, and we're going to go down the East Coast, come back up the West Coast, and then back over to London and fly out. So
that's fine. I'd love to go over to the East Coast myself. A lot of action going over there.
Yeah, I got to go meet my friend Bob Hope over there. I know he's listening in right now, and gonna definitely hook up with him. We're gonna go do some beach hunting, and then I'm gonna go down to the south. Got a couple friends down there, right where the Normans actually came into England.
Wow!
And then gonna come back up to the other side.
Hi, Bob.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody in the UK, please feel free to get in touch with each other. I'm sure that everybody would love a little bit of cross sharing to metal detect. I wish I had that opportunity over here. I invite everybody I know to come metal detect with me.
Well, quite a lot of the UKDF are in London based in that area, so we've actually invited the UKDF to come up. It doesn't matter how many they are. They come up and crash in our house. And then we can go out metal detecting all weekend. Well, so you're more than welcome. Open house.
Absolutely, and I hope there's a pub down the street because I definitely got to take in the sights.
Yeah, the sights of the taps being pulled.
Just a second. Patrick White, please write Wayne at nuggetbrain1@msn.com. He's asking for you to get in touch with him. That's nuggetbrain1@msn.com. But anyway, I'll edit that out of the edited show that will be coming out next week.
All right. Oh, yeah.
So, Kimmie, I got actually a question for you. Luke wants me to ask you if you've driven into any ditches lately.
Did he tell you what happened?
No, not a clue. He just told me to ask you the question.
We were out metal detecting, so where I parked and we was on a nice country road, and Scott here decided, I'm going to go and look at the horses. So I was kind of tired, so I get in the van, and I thought I would drive up to pick Scott up. But the English don't build the roads properly. And there was this huge, I didn't see it because it was behind the bushes, and there was this huge ditch, and my fan just went sort of, oops, down the ditch. And I sort of sat in the fan and I thought, oh my good God, what am I going to do? But yeah, I crashed my brand new fan in the ditch in Essex on the dig. And I wasn't happy. But she was okay. We pulled her out and she was drivable.
Well, good. I'm glad nothing really big happened. Everybody was safe. No, but that's just got to be frustrating. Luke, you're evil making fun of that.
I actually thought it was quite funny, to be honest with you.
It was supposed to be a 3-day dig, and everybody took off on the second day, and it was just a couple of us left, and so we made the call, and Niall come over and his friend Freddie in the van, and I just happened to have a rope in the back, and they pulled us out of the ditch, and that saved the day. Thank goodness there are a couple of them left over there.
Yeah, fantastic. Niall's a good guy. I know him as well.
Yeah, Niall's awesome.
That's why you should always take a rope with you when you go metal detecting.
Now, what brought you guys into metal detecting to begin with? And how long have you been doing this now?
Oh, well, I'll tell you a little bit. I was actually shopping in this town I live in, and I was going through the charity shops, and I actually seen a metal detector for sale in the back room. And I asked the clerk how much it was, and he said it was like $30, and it didn't work. And I left the store, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a really good metal detector. And he said it didn't work. So I said, well, I can't pay you $30 for a metal detector. I'll give you $15 for a metal detector, 15 pounds, whatever, $20. And I brought it home, cleaned up the battery terminal, popped some batteries in, turned it on, there it was. So I started passing my time doing that. There's really not much else to do out here, to be honest with you. And it rains all the darn time. So anyway, after a while, Kimmie started seeing me bringing home coins and stuff, you know. And then I for her birthday, I went and I got her a metal detector. I got her a little Garrett Ace 250. Oh. And she's been hooked ever since. Kimmie, want to chime in on that a little bit?
Well, I actually had a stroke in November, a couple of months previous to January. And they were asking me to do rehabilitation to get back the strength in my right arm.
Yeah.
And I had to go to that. Well, watching Scott doing the metal detector, and I thought to myself, well, do you know what I mean? It's exercise, and plus, do you know what I mean? It would get my strength back in my right arm. So, like Scott said, do you know what I mean? He bought me the metal detector for my birthday in January. I started going out metal detecting, and my arm started getting stronger. And when I went back to the hospital asked me, how did you get the strength back in your arm so quick? And I says, well, I'm out swinging. And the look that I got when I said, and Joey was like, pardon? Joey, so I explained to them what swinging was, obviously metal detecting. So from then, they were really surprised because for a month, you're not allowed to drive. You're not allowed to do anything besides from rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And within a month, I was back driving my car. Do you know what I mean? I'm back, everything back to normal just through metal detecting. Do you know what I mean? So to me, I love her. I'm the one who says to Scott, right, come on, get up, let's go. He goes to work and I'm away metal detecting. Do you know what I mean? So absolutely love her. Do you know what I mean? So he'll phone me lunchtime, where are you? Metal detecting. Yeah. Where are you? Metal detecting. You know what I mean? But yeah, do you know what I mean? So to me, in a way, I think, thank God for metal detecting, because it was a great way for me to get my whole strength back in my body.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. And I suppose, in a way as well, do you know what I mean? It's mind over matter.
Yeah, it's definitely really true. Metal detecting, in a way, is a very therapeutic hobby, and a lot of people don't realize this. And then the ones who do realize how well it is people like yourself, like myself, a couple other people that I know who use it for therapy in one way or another. For you, it's a physical therapy. For me, it's a mental or a mental therapy, and it really helps. It really does help. I'm just glad that people are seeing exactly how important this is as a therapeutic, I guess you could say a therapeutic means for people to actually go out and do, because being out there alone, like in the middle of a field or someplace like where you guys were today, that to me is the dream. That is the beautiful location, just being isolated out there, finding history and just being in my thoughts. Just absolutely beautiful. And for
getting out and being there, you know what I mean?
It's a mental stability, isn't it? I mean, it just gets you.
It's got so many more pros than cons. I mean, even if you look at it at this angle, if you got a young kid that was troublesome in his life, you got him into metal detecting, you get him off the street, you get him in the field. You know what I mean? There's so many variables involved into the pros in this hobby. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you said, both mental and physically. Do you know what I mean? It just has you there. Do you know what I mean? It's that excitement. Do you know what I mean? Of getting out. Do you know what I mean? And for me, it was knowing that I'm getting my strength back. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting back to my normal self. Do you know what I mean? And it was just that whole thrill of knowing I'm becoming normal again.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. And for another friend of mine in the UK as well, in Ireland, he uses it for the exact same thing. He's in the UK, but he was in Northern Ireland during the fighting that was going on back in the 70s.
Right.
And even Richard Crunkmeyer, he uses it as a stress relief as well. For everybody, it has some kind of a therapeutic thing, and for other people it's just going out and finding history. Like Wayne, he loves just finding the history and sharing it with others. So in everybody's way, it is a therapeutic means.
It's got so many positives to it. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, do you know what I mean? It's got that mental side of it. Two, it's got the physical side of it. Do you know what I mean? And as well, do you know what I mean? Instead of going to the gym and pumping weights and running on a treadmill for 45 minutes, go out and swing a metal detector, for goodness sake. You're doing the same amount of exercise, if not more, by swinging and digging.
Yeah, but running on a treadmill to me sounds like torture anyway. You're not going to get me on one of those.
You're not going to find any nice coins either.
Exactly. You might get me running if you dangle a piece of cake in front of my face, but that's about it.
Yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying.
That's true. But yeah, don't be.
And so you guys are a part of the UK dirt fishing team, UKDF, correct?
Yeah.
And they can definitely, anybody can get in touch with you guys through that.
Yeah, we've actually got our own metal detecting page, which is Garrett Ace Metal Detectors.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to actually bring it up. I have it written here on the board. But yeah, it's Scott and Kimmie Dubay from the Garrett Ace Metal Detectorists. In fact, earlier in the show today, I played again Scott talking about the Mass Double D 13.5 inch coil from Garrett. I played that again today.
Scott likes his double Ds.
I do. I do. And the 13.5 is really big. I like big double Ds, if you don't mind me saying so. But we're really happy to be part of the UK Dirt Fishing group. We'd like to represent the UK Dirt Fishing as like the Welsh sector, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's Amera Welsh. If you know what I mean.
Amera Welsh? What's that? American Welsh?
Yeah. You know what I mean? But we'd like to hopefully get a couple digs going out here and have a little UK dirt fishing base camp, Welsh style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And of course you're invited if you get over here. You know.
Well, I'm not too far away. Eventually, one of these days, I'll make it over to the UK. You know, us Jamericans need to meet up with the Welsh-Americans or the Ameriwelsh.
Jamaicans.
That's a good one, man.
I like that one. Jamaican.
You definitely have to get over there. See, Luke wanted me to make sure that I mentioned the Garrett Ace Metal Detectorist. So, check him out on Facebook. Definitely look up there. Garrett Ace Metal Detectorist on Facebook. Wayne says
basically the reason we started that group was, I'll tell you why, because when I first started metal detecting, I didn't know what end was up on this stick that made a lot of noise. You know what I mean? So when it came to the Ace, what I ended up doing, what do? You look online for things, right? So, there's only so much you could read in blogs. But I started going to little groups and stuff, and I just wanted to give back what I learned from other people, and just like kind of centrified this genre of metal detectors just to Garrett Ace. So, because if people have questions, they can come here. They want to share their experience, they can do it here with the amateurs and newbies. And that's how that all started. And it's been taken off. It's quite successful, and it's a really fun place to be.
Yeah, thanks to UK Dirt Fishing.
Yeah, definitely. UK Dirt Fishing and GDA, we're extremely close together. Me and Luke, and actually Dave Sadler as well from Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine. We're really tight, and great
guys.
Yeah,
Luke, great guys. Yeah,
we definitely love each other, and we try and share the love between all the groups and everything. And that's how I found out about you two. Luke came to me about you guys. Actually, about 2 weeks ago, I heard about Scott for the first time, and then I started looking up the Garrett Ace Metal Detectorist, which I am actually a part of. I was just looking, and
awesome.
Yeah, definitely be looking you guys up more often. Just looking at the time, I didn't know I was yapping this long.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to see, we actually have a YouTube channel as well. It's Huntress Kimmie and Cloudhopper Scott. We've got like 30, 40 videos on there of us out doing this metal detecting here in the fields, finding silvers, finding hammers, everything you can imagine that I was telling you about between the two castles. That's where it all takes place. So you can check that out too if you'd like.
I am typing it in right now. Huntress Kimmie and Cloudhopper Scott. You are.
Hey, what do you know? There we are.
You are subscribed. Hey, look, I'm number 69.
But yeah, no, I think it is a big thank you to Luke. Do you know what I mean? Because it was Luke that sort of, we done our first rally with Luke.
Yeah.
With UK Dirt Fishing. Thoroughly enjoyed meeting all the guys. Do you know what I mean? They were so hilarious. Freddie with his sombrero hat, and it was a really good weekend. Do you know what I mean? We had loads of fun with Luke, and it was lovely. They actually put faces to names as well. Do you know what I mean? So I think, in a way, do you know what I mean, it was Luke and UK Dirt Fishing that really set us off to start up the Garthius Metal Detecting Group.
Yeah, when we were young amateurs, I mean, what was that, a couple of years ago, year and a half ago, we joined Luke's group, UK Dirt Fishing, when there was only like 200-300 members in it. We just watched it grow, and we've grown with it, and we've had a lot of fun, and, you know, everybody's just, like you said, it's just a nice little network that everybody's got going on here, and it's great to make friends. It's nice to meet you today as well, so looking forward to the future of that. So, awesome. Awesomeness everywhere.
Definitely be hitting you guys up again later on, find out exactly how it's going in the future, how your hunts are going on, and, you know, one of these days me and the wife will come out and we'll get a little competition out on one of these fields.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like a competitive double date.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm competitive anyway. I take the mickey out of the boys. Do you know what I mean? I really do. And they hate it. They absolutely hate it. If I'm in a field, we went in, I have to tell you this one. We were in one field one day, and rather than walking round and getting into the next field, there was sort of like a bush that we could all squeeze through. So we've squeezed through this bush, and the minute I've got over to the other side of the field, I started swinging. Bing, 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 bing. Dig it out, and it was a lovely. What silver was it?
It was Charles the First silver, 1600s. You know, that's what we get for chivalry. You know, ladies first, and we let her through the bush first, and she comes out, she pulls out the silver instead.
Oh, well, they were fuming, but I love it.
Yeah,
I mean, totally love it.
Sounds beautiful. Man, I'm going to have to get out. You know, I wanted to go out hunting today, but the snow started coming down. We're almost at 4 inches now, and just would have been too much to actually try and trudge through that with my little dog. So I gave up.
Yeah, take a break. Come do a podcast. Forget about the walk.
Yeah. See, this is more fun. This is totally off the hook today. This is not our typical type of podcast. We're just shooting it by ear as it went today. Everything turned out great. Had some great guests. You guys coming on, absolutely fantastic. And having
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, but I want to go ahead and thank you and the lovely Kimmie for coming onto the show. You guys are absolutely great, and following you guys hunting out there today with the wonderful, wonderful views that you guys were sharing with me, it just made me extremely jealous while I was sitting on my reclining chair trying to edit a video.
That was the whole point.
That's why we did it.
That's why we did it.
I know.
Give a little taste of what you get to look forward to when you get over here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just bring your recipes.
I will. And for Wayne Peterson, thank you so much. Make sure you check them out at www.ats.org, or you can email him at nuggetbrain1@msn.com. And we'll see you guys real soon. As far as you, Scott and Kimmie, stay on the line real quick, and I'll get you the information for Wayne over to you. And as far as everyone else, thank you for paying attention to my boring voice.
Bye, guys.
Happy hunting.
And we're going to see you guys in a couple weeks with Dave and Mike back. And the shows will be back on as usual. And we're going to have our great Christmas episode. And till we see each other out on the fields, let's dig it up, y'all.
Get up. Yeah.
As fragrant as detecting and digging up a sewer line. This is the GDA Radio Podcast. helping XP users create an even better and more personal experience out on the fields using the XP Deus. Head on over to xp-detectors.co.uk and visit the classroom and find out exactly all the settings and everything else that you can do to the XP Deus and learn how to use the XP Deus to its full potential. Our buddy XP Gary, he's the one giving a lot of the classes over there, and I guarantee you're going to love it. So head on over to xp-detectors.co.uk and find out exactly how you can get more from the XP Deus, or if you should buy one for yourself. I guarantee this is going to be something you're going to want to check out.
This has been a production of the GDA Podcast Network.